Hey guys, happy Wednesday. So we're here to talk to you guys about some addictive foods today.
Yes.
So we have some.
So we got soda. Probably should cover up the manufacturers. We have soda.
Why do we have to cover up the
Well,
manufacturer?
it's Coca-Cola.
We're not selling it or
True.
anything. We're not
We
endorsing
got
it.
Doritos. And we got some double stuffed Oreos. Now, some
There's
of you.
double stuff. Hey.
Yeah. So some of you think that this is actually a good lunch. It's not.
Or
Okay?
maybe even a good lunch to give your
Or to
teenage
give
children.
your teenage or children in general. So, just for curiosity, so there's 4 servings in this. So there's 560 calories in this. There is 410 calories in this.
But I'm just gonna eat one of these.
Yeah, well, good luck with that, because that's not how it's done. And there's 240 calories in this. So that's 1,200 calories. That's like
But that's
2/3 of a
all-
normal
but
person's.
That's all I'm gonna eat all day.
No, you're not. That's because the advertising for Doritos is eat all you want. We'll make more, because it's designed for you to eat lots and lots and lots. And so is this. And so is this is designed for you to drink a lot of it too.
Yeah. Many of the people that come in here are drinking several of these a day. Now, I'm not even sure what this tastes like anymore. I haven't had a Coke in so long, but I'm sure for
It does
whoever
taste
is
good, otherwise
addicted
people
to,
wouldn't
it does
drink
taste
it.
good, otherwise
Yeah.
people wouldn't drink it.
Yeah.
So,
let's go over not only so we've got soda, right? We've got chips, we got cookies, some other foods that are highly addictive. Cake, right? Candy, right? So Reese's, Snickers, you
I do
name
want
it.
to, I'm not to interrupt you, but
You did, didn't you?
But I did. Gummy candies are also extremely
yeah.
addictive. And so going back to kids, so gummies like that you think are fruit snacks,
That's
like,
not fruit.
those are actually candy too. So those are actually also
Yeah,
addictive.
there's no such thing as a gummy bear treat.
Right. So if you're like doing fruit snacks, like those are also highly addictive too. And so also on the list of those things is also cereal. Cereal is also highly addictive.
Yes, Lucky Charms. Sorry, my favorite cereal growing up, but
Yeah, I used to
it's not good for you.
love cereal, and cereal is also extremely addictive. Cheese is addictive.
Yes, milk.
Cheese is on there.
Milk is addictive.
So there's several things on there that you don't even expect to be on there. It's highly palatable.
Mostly, can we fair to say that anything that's processed is highly addictive?
Yeah, they're all processed foods.
Yes. Why is that? Okay, well, because manufacturers want to sell you as much of their product as possible. Now, that doesn't mean that food manufacturers are evil people. No, they are companies that make food products that we eat. And just like any other product on the planet, they want you to buy as much of it because that's how they make money. That's how they're able to pay their employees. That's how they're able to do all the things that they do, right? So they spend millions of dollars every year to create foods that are highly addictive.
Yes, and they pay people just to research how to make foods more palatable and how to get you to eat more. Now, is there a good answer on how to fix that for America? The only way to fix that for America is for Americans to stand up. If Americans stand up against that, then that will make food companies have to go back and have to research in another way in order to sell their product. But right now, this is what's selling their product, so they're not going to stop. But if Americans were to switch and say, oh no, this is not what I'm going to eat anymore, and they were to stop buying it, then they would have to say, oh, well, they're not going to buy it anymore. So we have to change what we're doing. And then they would change, but they're not going to change because Americans aren't changing, because Americans are addicted to what is happening right now.
And that doesn't mean I want you to go stand in front of Coca-Cola or Frito-Lay and protest.
No, that's not helpful.
What I want you to do, or what we want you to do, is stop purchasing these products. Because if we stop purchasing the products, then the demand drops, Therefore, they will change because they want to make money. And there's nothing wrong with making money. We all like to have money to do things we want to do. So the way we do that is we stop buying these products, so it forces the companies to change the foods that they make.
So
okay?
Why are these foods addictive?
Well, because there's a biological response to that.
Yes, so it's not anybody's fault or anything like that, but it's biological.
Yes. So what do I mean by biological? Okay, so basically what it means, without getting too scientific on everybody, we are creatures that crave foods that are high or have a high caloric content, okay? Because calories is what we need to survive. So calories, in other words, you can think of calories as energy, right? So we consume foods to get that energy, which gives us energy to do the things that we want to. So biologically, to keep us alive, we naturally are going to want to crave foods that have a high caloric content, right? So processed foods are high caloric foods. They have lots of fat, they have lots of carbohydrates, they have lots of additives, right? To entice us or to keep us eating those foods. And then, of course, it all comes down to calories in versus calories out. So if you consume more calories than you need, you gain weight. If you consume less calories than you need, you lose weight. So we are consuming processed foods that are low in volume because they've kind of been already digested, but are super high in calories. And since they're low in volume, we tend to eat more and more of them to feel full. And then we end up craving those over and over and over again. It's like a vicious little cycle.
And then also, we do achieve a response from our brain too that makes us feel good from eating these foods.
Yes.
And every time we eat them, it's like an addict or somebody that drinks or somebody that, I hate to say, I'm just going to say that. Somebody that does do, some kind of other recreational drug. You're seeking that every time you do something. Every time you're eating another chip, every time you're eating another cookie, you want to feel that again. That's the response you want to get. So you're chasing after that first time high, like every time you go to get another chip, every time you go to get another, cookie. And, it's never as good as the first one, so you got to get some more, So, because you want to feel that good, like all the time, because it does feel good, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we're not saying it doesn't, because it does. But
These taste amazing.
yeah, so these don't taste like,
They don't taste like dog poop.
they don't taste like, you don't see people getting like, overeating on Brussels sprouts. Some people might overeat Brussels sprouts.
I make some mean Brussels sprouts, so
but not like Doritos. So, so now we have an epidemic of people being overweight, and now it's honestly, it's just like the norm. It's more normal now to be overweight than to be a healthy weight or underweight. So we have stats on that. Lyle's gonna tell you the stats on obesity and being overweight.
Yeah, so according to the CDC, as of 2018, we have 31.1% of our population are listed as overweight, okay? We have 42.5% of our population that is listed as obese. So if you combine the overweight percentage and the obese percentage, the total people that are at least overweight is 73.6%. That's at least 7 out of 10 people, or 2 out of 3 people that are overweight. That is terrifying.
It's extremely terrifying.
Yes.
Especially, I feel like and I'll touch base on this a little bit with not that we shouldn't love our bodies like any way that they are, but with the whole body love image thing coming in, it's really scary because it's not healthy or healthy at any weight. How about that? Because you're not healthy at any weight. Okay. Now I say that whenever people come in here to train with me, I say you should love yourself through this entire process. You should love your body through the entire process. But we definitely do not want you to stay this weight because this is not a healthy weight. So this entire phenomenon that we're going through, like healthy at any weight, that is not right, because you are not healthy if you are overweight. And it's extremely scary to see, ads coming in from like Nike or Victoria's Secret or whoever, with, claiming that these people are healthy when they're not healthy. Now, I don't disagree that we should have all shapes and sizes in these ads, but I don't think that we should claim that these people are healthy, because it's just, making us shift even more into the place that it's okay to be these unhealthy weights. So, and then, trainers even saying, well, I'm overweight and it's okay that I'm overweight, so you can be overweight too. So, when did that become okay? It's not okay. So now your trainer is also at a risk for heart disease, and you're going to train with a trainer that's at risk for heart disease. So it's extremely scary.
Yeah. And I think even more terrifying than the fact that there's 73% of our population that are listed as overweight is also our children's situation. So our children are actually overweight and obese also. So again, according to the CDC, children ages 2 to 5 years old, 13.4% of them are obese, not overweight, obese, okay? Children that are 6 to 11 years old, 20.3% of them are obese, okay? Children 12 to 19, I'm not sure how a 19-year-old is still a child, but we'll go with that, right? Is 21.2%. So as the children are getting older, they are getting heavier. Yes. We've got to stop, America. We've got to stop not only poisoning ourselves, but stop poisoning our children.
So that's one of the things we talk to our clients. We talk to our clients a lot about that, because we'll have one family member come in. Generally, it's the female, and that's one of the biggest struggles that she usually has, is that she can't make it work in her family dynamic, because her kids are not eating healthy and her husband's not eating healthy. And what I say is that, why is it okay that you're getting healthy but you don't want your children? It's not important that your children get healthy. If your kids were in danger, you would save your kids from danger first. So why is it okay to keep feeding your children things that you're going to stop eating? You're not eating chips anymore, so why are you feeding your children chips? Because if you were going to stop not eat rat poison, why would you feed your kids rat poison? That's extremely dramatic, but it's the same thing.
Mentality, yeah.
So, and then your children are going to grow up, because at the time we're thinking, well, my kids can eat anything they want to because they're little and they're burning off energy, and they should get to eat stuff because they should get to enjoy life. And I used to think that too. Because whenever my kids were little at first, I was like, well, I wanted them to have their goldfish and their juice boxes. And then I realized that was not healthy. That's not what they should be having. So, I had to switch gears and say, okay, this is, and the foods that they're actually supposed to be having. And they were not happy with me at the time. They're still not always extremely happy with me. But I think in the long run, that they'll have learned, and I'm just protecting them. It's just like protecting them from anything else. You're not going to sit alcohol in front of them. You're not going to set something dangerous in front of them. Why would you continue to put dangerous foods in front of them?
So why is it so important that we reverse this trend and get people to a healthy weight? Well, because obesity is the #1 leading cause for heart disease. It's the #1 leading cause for high blood pressure. It's the #1 leading cause for type 2 diabetes. And it is the #1 cause for certain cancers. So, yes, go back to this healthy at any weight. No, it is not. Okay, we've got to get leaner. And I don't mean mentally not love yourself and this and that, but you've got to stop the lie. Okay? Being overweight is not a good thing for you in the long run. It will come back to bite you, I promise.
Yeah, it's not just about, and of course, generally, if you are trying to lose weight, there is some aesthetics involved, but it's not just about aesthetics. It's about wanting to live longer and wanting to feel better. That's what the majority of the people that come in here tell us they want to feel better. That is one of the number one things that people tell us, is that they'll say, I'm just so tired all the time and I just feel bad all the time and I just want to feel better. And so the way to feel better a lot of times starts with eating better. Because when
Yes.
you're constantly eating bad things and you're overweight, you're going to be tired and you're going to feel bad all the time. And that's just going to continue as long as you're continuing with those habits.
Yeah, they used to tell us all the time that we are what we eat, and somehow we forgot that, right?
Mm-hmm.
We forgot that if we put foods that are not healthy in our bodies, then we're not healthy, right? So we've gone away from that. But the good thing is that it's never too late to start. Okay, so how do you start? Well, you got to make some behavioral changes. You got to change your habits. So you got to replace the habits that are causing you to eat unhealthy, and you got to replace those with healthier habits, right? So that means not eating Doritos, and instead maybe you eat a potato, right?
Yeah, because we're not saying that you can't have potatoes. So not a lot of drastic, diets and fad diets will take you on this, crazy, change where you can't have like potatoes or carbs, but we don't do that. You could have a potato. Potatoes are not bad for you. So you could have a potato
instead of Oreos, how about we do like your mom said, get your hand out of the cookie jar, eat a piece of fruit.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And, I was just having this talk recently with someone about changing your palate with, eating things that were sweet. Because I did not always live this way. I used to eat, a lot more bad foods. And my tastes have changed over time. And now eating strawberries tastes sweet to me. That's like a dessert to me because my palate has changed over time. It didn't happen overnight. It took years for that to happen. Now, sometimes I do still eat a dessert every once in a while. And if I do eat a dessert, that is extremely, extremely sweet to me. And it affects my body. Like I can tell that I've had something that extremely sweet that I'm not used to. So.
Yes, and then if you need something to drink, do not reach for this. And don't reach for diet soda either. Drink water.
So I think as somebody I with soda, I haven't had soda in a long time. Whenever I became pregnant with my son at age 21, I actually, for some reason, I don't know, I didn't know a lot at the time, but for some reason I thought I should stop drinking soda. I drank Mountain Dew. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna drink soda anymore. So after he was born, I never started drinking soda again. I just started drinking water, and that's all I've ever had. And so soda has just never tasted good for me from that point on. And so when people drink soda, it's something that is foreign to me. But I can sympathize with that through other things. But Lyle has just recently stopped drinking soda because Lyle will tell you that he is addicted to food.
Yes.
And he struggles with food.
Still do. Probably will struggle with food the rest of my life.
If you have ever struggled with food, it's just like being addicted to anything else. You're gonna have to fight that for probably forever. But how long have you gone without a diet? With diet, he was addicted to diet. How long have you gone without a diet soda now?
Gosh, it has to be over a month and a half.
Yeah. So
it can't be done.
He's completely stopped diet now. He kind of like started doing like half water and half diet, but
I had to attempt different strategies. I had to replace the old habit with a new habit, and it took a while to figure out a new habit to replace the old habit. So it does take time, and that's one of the things too, right? So it's not going to happen overnight. It does take time. And unfortunately, we live in a society that demands instant gratification, right? But unfortunately, we're biological organisms, and our bodies you're not going to see the end product of all your hard work for a very long time. You will start to see results. I mean, you can start to see and feel results in as little as a week, right? I mean, you can definitely start to maybe it's simply as you start to sleep better, right? Maybe it's you don't feel tired at 2 o'clock in the afternoon like you usually do. Maybe it's, you have a little bit of extra energy along with not feeling tired at 2 o'clock. Maybe all of a sudden you have a desire to be more physically active, right? There's a lot of things that you can experience immediately that lets you know, and then your body's letting you know that you're headed down the right path, right? So are we going to lose 50 pounds overnight? No, we're not. Realistically, you're looking at least a year, right? Because you're gonna lose weight in 3 months, and you're gonna feel fantastic, and then you may have some setbacks, and then you're gonna have to get back on the plan.
Yes.
And continue your journey, and then maybe you lose the 10 pounds that you put on, but we're still moving forward, right? And eventually you will get to the weight that you want to be. It is going to take time. So please stop reading all the magazines that says you can lose 16 pounds a week and be at your goal weight in less than a month. That is gobbledygook, okay? And if that's possible, you're doing something that's dangerous, and it's just as unhealthy as the unhealthy food that you're putting in your body. You got to stop.
Yeah, but I think Lyle is a great, person to look at as far as his journey that he's had the past few years, because he has lost a lot of weight, but he's had months that he has not lost weight, and he's had months that he's done really great. He's had months that he's really struggled. We've had arguments about food, but I mean, it's definitely a struggle for him. It's a struggle for me sometimes. But we're very open and honest with our clients about his struggles with food, and then our relationship and how that works.
I do know this. I am going to figure it out. Like I'm a nutritionist. I have a degree in exercise science. I have the book knowledge. I just don't have the practical knowledge yet. And what I mean by practical knowledge, I am still struggling. I will get to where I want to be, right? So in the last 2 years, I've lost 40 pounds. I still have about 20 pounds to go. Ideally, I would think so. That's going to take some time. I have to, it was the behaviors and the habits that I implemented to lose the 40 pounds weren't really that drastic, right? It was just stop eating so much processed food, stop eating so much pizza, stop going to fast food restaurants, and just focus on eating good quality whole foods. Okay, but however, to go that extra where I need to go, I'm having to create new habits, and I'm having to practice which ones I can do on a continuous basis and be consistent with. I will get there, right? So I'm not losing hope. I'm not throwing my hands up in the air saying this is ridiculous, this is pointless, I'll never get there. I'm gonna get there, and I will find a method that fits me, fits my lifestyle, and I will get there. It's just gonna take some time and some effort. And there's a lot of days that I'm successful. There are days that I'm unsuccessful, but I don't stop, right? I keep going forward. Just so I heard a great analogy, right? So if you're in a car and you get lost, do you just stay lost, or do you find your way out of it and get back on track? Well, that's the same thing with nutrition and learning how to eat good quality foods and get to the weight that you want to be at. You don't have to stay lost. If you get lost, if you fall, if you have a few meals that are not ideal and are not great, don't beat yourself up. Just start at the next meal and continue moving forward.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things. And I think it's really hard too. And here with our clients, we really try to emphasize how long it's going to take if you're working on nutrition, if you're wanting to lose weight, and that it's going to be a long process. Because if you've been making poor food choices for a long time, if that's been a habit that you've been in, then it could take a long time to change that, and it's going to be a struggle. So, and we're here to help you through that struggle. And we have a lot of, difficult conversations.
It's better, like it's the old adage, right? Sometimes it's better just to rip the Band-Aid off. Well, sometimes you have to sit a person down and say, okay, you know, and I know, the excuses that you're telling me are garbage, right? They are. They're flat out garbage. You got to own your garbage, and you got to realize that it's garbage so that you could stop saying the garbage that's keeping you from getting where you need to be, right? Yes, I know it's easier said than done. Trust me, I'm a perfect living example of it. But it is garbage. It is garbage. I mean, you're lying to yourself if you think that it's not. Okay, your childhood is not keeping you from being the weight that you want to be. Your job pressures are not keeping you from being the weight that you want to be. Your family requirements are not keeping you from being the weight that you want to be. The only thing that's keeping you from being the weight you want to be is you and your desire to get to the point where you want to get.
Yeah, I think
and that is the truth.
Yeah, that's extremely important because that's, what we hear a lot, is, things that have happened previously in life or things that are happening now, stress, jobs, family, and, there's always going to be things happening in our lives. But if we continue to say, this is happening and I can't get healthy right now, I can't take care of myself, then you're going to be saying that for the rest of your life because things are always going to be happening. You always have time and there's always a way. And I truly believe that. And you are important enough to make the time, to take the effort to invest in yourself. And it's never too late either. I think a lot of people think that too. They're like, well, now I'm 40, it's too, 40? What do you mean you're 40, it's too late? I mean, they're like, well, now I'm overweight and I'm already hurting and now it's just too late. And that's definitely not the case. That's a time to start. I mean, you don't want to go through the next 30 years of your life feeling that way. Why would you say it's over now, there's nothing I can do? So
yes. So to wrap it up, what we'd like to leave you with is a couple of things, or one thing in general. Make the small changes, okay? Small changes over a long period of time are going to give you the best results, okay? Stay at it. Don't give up. Even if you have some setbacks, that's okay. You will get there. Just keep working forward. But we've got to stop the trend of Americans becoming overweight, okay? We live in a fantastic country. We live in a fantastic world, right? The world is getting better every single day. So let's be around to see how awesome the world's going to be, right? Like Amy said, even if you're 40, congratulations. If you start eating correctly and all that kind of good stuff with how awesome modern medicine is, people, it's living to 120 and to 140 is right around the corner. And understand that you're not going to be old and miserable those last 30, 40, 50 years. You're going to be vibrant, right? At 80, you're going to feel like you're 40. At 100, you're going to feel like you're 50. At 120, you're going to feel like you're 80, right? I can't wait for the future, especially your children. Right? Why would we not want our children to live a long, healthy, happy life? Right? So get on it right now. Start practicing small changes and work towards it. If you would love to have some more advice, if you like this video, Amy will tell you how to reach out to us so that we can help you on your journey and get you to where you want to be.
Yeah, so you can visit my website at amyeverettfitness.com. You can send me an email at amy@amyeverettfitness.com, or you can message me on Facebook or on Instagram.
All right. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Have a
Bye.
great day.